So good morning, and today I'd like to talk a little bit to you about what happened last night in our All Us Men group. We had a really nice group sat around the open fire. We listened to some music and meditated together, and we talked about non-stealing, and how we steal emotionally and how we steal spiritually from each other, the people around us and our partners and friends and family. And it was really poignant and really significant for a lot of us, and it brought up a lot of things in each other. But what's really beautiful about the group and about being in this particular men's group is that there's an abundance of caring and openness. There's a sharing like I don't normally have with other guys, and because we're holding space for each other and we're learning to do that, we're all learning to do that, we're all learning just to allow people to be heard without wanting to chime in, without wanting to one-upmanship. Your story's great, but I've got a much better story than that. You're hurt, but I've been hurt much more than that. You're grieving, I'm grieving too, but my pain's stronger than yours. And that is non-stealing. That is stealing, and that's stealing on an emotional and spiritual level. And we found that in this group we really come together. We really love each other. We show caring for one another, and it's not hard to sit around a fire and hold each other's hands and be able to listen to music and meditate. There's something really beautiful about being that masculine, that the masculinity within us allows us to show vulnerability. And when we want to be strong and forthright, masculine, from that perspective, there's room for that too. But in the group, the All Us Men group, what we really look for is we look for balance within ourselves, and then we look for balance externally around us. And we really talked about that a lot last night. And one of the things that came up in me was, like when we talked about this one-upmanship thing that we do when we steal from each other, when we take someone else's story and we make it our own, is that I really feel that when you learn to rest in who you are, and when you learn to really be the real you, you don't really feel like you're in competition with anybody. And so the analogy I used was, we all have different versions of ourselves. The version at work, the version with your mum and dad, the version with your siblings, the versions with your best mates, the version with your football team and rugby team, the version with your mother-in-law, the version with your kids, And the question is, if you were in a room with everybody that knows you and everybody that you've ever met, what version of you would you be? Good question. And the answer for me was, I'm trying to be as real as I can. There's playful versions of me and there's serious versions of me. And there's things that I probably say in the barbershop when I'm cutting hair that I wouldn't say around my in-laws. But to my core, to my very nature of who I am, I'm the same. And I don't steal from myself in that way. I'm allowing myself to be real. So have a little check-in today. What version of you suits you, not everybody else? Love.